thinking about moving to Miami and you're Googling a lot of information about Miami real estate, well, if you are, I can tell you it's probably a bit confusing. We have condominiums, townhomes, single family homes, and there are many different price points, and Miami-Dade is huge. So today I'm going to go over some information that I think you'll find helpful if you're thinking about moving to our area, and more specifically, if you're interested in buying a condominium in the city. And if you stay around until the very end, I'm going to give you a couple of extra bonus tips that I think you'll find super helpful and you don't want to miss. And I'm going to get started now. Hey everyone, my name is Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami-Dade and Broward counties, and I work with my husband Ognjen Prezzi and our team. And today I'm going to talk to you about what you need to know about Miami-Dade real estate and buying condominiums in the city. But first, before I get started, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another update. We do put out new videos every week. Also, use the information in the description box and give us a call, text, or email. We get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people who are thinking about moving into our area, and they have a lot of questions. And we're here to be a resource for you. Okay, so let's take it over to the slides, and I'm going to show you some very specific details that I think will be very helpful. Okay, so I want to first start with Miami Beach, and I'm going to go over some of the most popular city neighborhoods in Miami-Dade County. Now, I'm not going to cover all of them today because it would be a lot, but I'm going to hit on some of the most popular neighborhoods that I get calls about every single day. And one of the most important things that I think you have to be aware of is when you are searching for real estate here, there are many different price points because there are many different types of properties. We have these luxury oceanfront buildings, and these buildings are newer. This building's a little bit older. And then you have non-waterfront buildings, like for instance, this building. So this building and this building, they're basically two different products with two very different price points. And then we also have some of the smaller walk-up buildings, which are not super luxury buildings. So there's a lot of different real estate, which can really skew the numbers here. And you'll even see in the data that I provide that, I'm giving you averages. But if you want to buy real estate here, you have to really know what you want to buy. And I typically recommend that people get laser focused in on a very specific building so that you can understand the comps very well in that building. I think that'll help you understand. Just for instance, this building right here, this building has units that face the west. It has units that face the east. Two different price points even within this building. And of course, the lines, the lower the floors are typically, they cost less than the floors that go a little bit higher. So the units that go higher. So just know that. And then you'll even see over in this area, this is Allison Island, there's single family homes. So there's a lot of different real estate. But Miami Beach is a barrier island off the mainland of Miami-Dade. And let me just show you. So this is all Miami Beach, all of this. These are some islands. This is the Venetian Islands. This is Sunset Islands. This is all single family homes, mostly single family homes. This island here has some single family homes and condominiums. And then these are the super luxury single family homes. And as you go up into the more northern part of Miami Beach, this is about 88th Street. But today I want to focus more on sort of the city areas of what I consider the city areas of Miami Beach. And I say super city areas because they're also very close to Brickell and downtown Miami, and I get calls about these every single day. Today I'm going to be focusing on South Beach, which is this area of Miami Beach, and south of 5th, this is 5th Street South. So in South Beach, and actually south of 5th is considered South Beach, but for this purpose, I'm going to show you a breakdown because I want to show you the difference between the two neighborhoods. This area here, this is all of South Beach, okay? So the average Miami Beach condo that sold in the neighborhood of South Beach was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath property with 770 square feet, and it sold for $487,000. This is based out of properties that were sold over the last 6 months. There was obviously a high at 7.8 million and then a low studio for $123,000. Now, this is south of 5th. So this is how Miami real estate can be very, very specific. So look at the average in South of Fifth, which is still part of South Beach, but is south of this Fifth Street here. So look, the average here was a 2.2 at 1.9. The average is a 1.1 at 487. Even if we double that up, it would still not be the same price as in South of Fifth. South of Fifth is considered a luxury neighborhood in South Beach, in Miami Beach. And for this neighborhood, the average 2.2 that sold for $1.9 million. There was a studio that sold for $269. Look at the studio that sold here for $123. So you can see the big difference. There are obviously higher sales there, but these are the sales that are listed on the MLS over the last 6 months. Next, let's go to downtown Miami. So this is, you can see here is South Beach. You see, this is why I'm saying the city areas of Miami-Dade, because they're all kind of relatively close to each other. And these are areas where you really don't need a car. There's a lot of activities or a lot of buildings, and it really does feel like a true city living. So this is South Beach, and this is south of Fifth. And then we're going to go across the bridge over into this area is downtown Miami. Once we cross the Miami River, then we'll get into Brickell. But right now we're going to be talking about downtown Miami. In downtown Miami, the average property that sold was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath property for $1.134 million. And the high was $19.5 million. The lowest was a studio for $320,000. And then if we go over to Brickell, the average 2.2 that sold was 1,100 square feet, and it sold for $805 with a high of $6.5 million. So this is the Brickell area. Next is the Edgewater area, and you can see that it's still very relatively close to Miami Beach, downtown Miami, and Brickell. The Edgewater area is very close to Wynwood, and it's also very close to the Design District and also Midtown Miami. I was also going to do Midtown Miami, but it was a little bit too much for one video to add in all these neighborhoods. So I'll do that another day. The average 2.2 that sold in Edgewater was sold for $829,000, a high at $4.2 million. A studio sold for $179,000. Now, I did promise you a few bonus tips, so I want to make sure I share those with you. A few things that you really need to know when you are purchasing real estate in Miami-Dade County, especially if you're buying in the city areas, is that if you are purchasing a condominium, the views, whether it's the western view or the ocean view or a city view or a bay view, those can really skew the numbers. So if a view is really important to you, you need to make sure that you understand the cost of the views in the building where you're buying so that you make sure that you get, the best price for that view. So that's really important. Also, property taxes. I say this all the time and no one really knows what I'm talking about until we get into it, but you cannot rely on the owner's property taxes as an estimate of what your taxes will be. Those get reset based on the new purchase, and they can change greatly, usually more going up, higher property taxes because the prices have increased. And if someone purchased their property 10 years ago and you're buying it now, I can guarantee you the price will go up. So just make sure you're aware of that. And also, if you are really interested in buying a townhome, some of the other neighborhoods that you may want to consider, because I am getting a lot of calls about townhomes right now, are Coconut Grove, Doral, and Homestead. They all have a lot of townhome communities, especially actually, I drove through Homestead the other day looking for some real estate for one of our clients, and there's a lot of properties being built with one of the bigger developers out there. So that's something to take into consideration. It's a bit far from the city areas of Miami-Dade, but just know that there are townhomes in Homestead. And one area that's very close to the city that has a lot of townhomes is Doral, and another area is the Grove. So just to keep that in mind. Okay, that's it. So I hope you found that helpful. We are always here to be a resource for you. And don't forget, you can reach out to us using the information in the description box, and we will see you soon.